All right, we are back with some live glazing. We got a flex match of DH Plume. They just came off their 2-0 win against Flying Cobra Gaming. Game 2 wasn't even close. It was disgusting to watch. But let's get into this flex game. There you go. Interesting. We've got Agor on Renekton, H2O on Wukong. We've got Kalore Silas, something that we know he plays. We got Tazy on Neela. Interesting. We got Junpei on Lulu. Interesting look at this team. Is there a way to just have the directed camera for someone? No. Alright, looks like we've got a early invade here by the side of DH Plume, forcing the flash away from the Echo. That means his ganks are going to be a little worse for wear in terms of the early game. Almost landing the Abduct. Kalore almost forces the flash away from Winter Cerulean. We've got a lot of Conqueror. We got 4 Conquerors and Summon Airy versus a variety of Summoner spells. Silas should have an easy time into this matchup. But looks like we've got Wukong starting on his red, while Echo starting with a leash from his bot lane.
Won this fight already. Doing it again for fun. Wow! Wow! Wow!
Okay. Early lane wise, I think that the bot lane for Team Red should have the advantage against Neela Lulu, but we'll have to see if Tazy can show me up. Because, we're up 6. It looks like the bot lane has completely frozen. Had frozen the first lane, the first wave onto the Caitlyn. So Neela getting the first early CS. Reminder that every time Neela kills someone, kills something while she is near a teammate, there is an extra bit of XP given to both members. So it's really important that you let Neela do all the farming. Kalore being pushed in by Galio early. This is normal. Galio normally trading his HP bar. Silas normally trading his HP bar for people's mana bars so that he can farm. Ooh, that's a bad Justice Punch into the Winds of War. Kalore takes a really bad trade here, but should be able to heal up if given the time. Okay, the Yordle Snack Trap gonna be put. Agor dodging out of a nice rupture that would have cost him a little bit of damage. But the Cho'Gath struggling a little bit to farm. Ooh. Agor dodging a nice rupture once again. Getting the level advantage. But unfortunately not much that Agor can do with it. We'll have to see what Kalore's build is going to be. Are we going to see more of the Rocket Belt style, the Lich Bane? We'll have to see what Kalore wants to get. A Polymorph coming down onto the Caitlyn. Unfortunately, Neela with the E, Neela is able to get away. H2O able to bully Sergeant Strafe. But now we see the Cho'Gath. Caitlyn going to go down. Caitlyn going to kill Lulu for first blood. But Zorosim has to be a little bit careful. The Conqueror is fully stacked. And that's a double kill for H2O. This Wukong going to be heavily accelerated. However, Neela was pushed off the wave. And there's a lot of CS that's going to be missing. The Neela E can block the enhanced auto from the Yordle Snap Trap, but we're able to interrupt the Justice Punch with the Nimbus Strike by H2O, forcing the flash away from Gucci. This should buy some pressure. And H2O gonna get both grubs.
Look out!
Okay, the Glitter Lance going to connect.
Go!
Oh, the heal from Junpei. H2O got a little too greedy. Now forced to flash away himself, but that's about half of a Triforce. The Rupture going to knock up Renekton, get a Grass Proc in, but overall Agor with a much better trade than the Cho'Gath early on. Tazy not managing to close the CS lead right now. And Kalori unfortunately having to teleport with no Merc Treads. So he's got like some components, but it doesn't have everything he'd like. Gonna do what he can to clear the wave, but this Bombing Cinder is gonna prove to be a pain in the butt for Mr. Kalori. However, Echo starting to bridge the CS gap that Wukong had enabled. We'll have to see who puts the priority on the grubs, because for the side of Plume, they have a really good champions, but the red team does have a Caitlyn in terms of wanting to take turrets. Tazy gonna take a decent chunk of damage from the Lucent Singularity, and unfortunately being able to play with an XP advantage. Once again, Gucci gets interrupted, but the taunt just comes through, and Gucci lives with his life for now. H2O and Agor are pathing towards the grubs. Gonna get them started while Echo is just doing... Junpei gonna get caught by the light binding in the bot lane. Take a decent chunk. Oh, actually, Cerulean is the one taking a decent chunk. The Polymorph coming in. Glitter Lance gonna do a lot. Junpei gonna dodge another important binding. And it looks like Kalora's gonna zone Sergeant Strafe off. Ooh, Kalori interrupting the recall at the very last moment. Gucci caught window shopping, dies, and this should put Kalori back in the driver's seat in terms of the mid lane. Now Tazy has to get some of the CS. He's down almost 1,500 gold, and if he can't get this CS, ooh, another light binding. The Yoro Snap Trap not gonna connect. But Tazy really wants to get access. The Ace in the Hole gonna do a lot of damage, forcing Tazy out of lane once again. There's a 2-level difference between the bot laners. Now Caitlyn finding a play on Junpei. Cerulean going to kill Tazy, and Junpei going to live by the skin of his teeth. H2O, unfortunately, not going to be able to find a play on this Caitlyn. So it looks like we'll have to focus this Caitlyn down. Unfortunately, Agor just got nom-nommed in the top lane. Didn't want to invest the ultimate and just got executed. Looks like we're going Eclipse on Renekton. A Galio ult stolen away by Silas. So now we'll get to see the awesome play that we saw of like LNG BLG with the Galio and Silas ulting at the same time, the double hero punch. Wow, wow, wow. Sergeant Strafe does have to be careful. He has the Chrono Shift, but looks like we are going. I think it's the Hextech Rocket Belt.
Pick on someone myself.
Go!
Oh, Kalori going to assassinate Echo before he can get out. Gucci's Justice Punch gets interrupted. The Cyclone not going to be enough. And now H2O taking another kill. But it's really important it was really important that Kalori gets at least one kill during this exchange. Cho'Gath has access to the feast. We'll see if he's able to consume Agor. The Dominus has been procced. The Ruthless Predator has activated. Ooh. Ooh, the flash auto attack. H2O going to have to block the Caitlyn ult. Ooh. H2O on the receiving end of a lot of damage. This Caitlyn Lux lane proving to be quite difficult for the side of DH Plume. However, the rest of the map seems to be doing pretty damn good. Okay, Kalora seems to... Kalora almost has the recipe needed to finish his item. Let's look. H2O almost has that Triforce. It's going to be big. Renekton has 1,400 gold with a lot of components. That might just be the Eclipse. Well, let's see if Tazy's able to get some of this farm. Okay, Tazy and Junpei have hit level 6. But that's 4 plates gone bot lane. And they don't even have a grub. This shows you the power of Caitlyn plus. Cerulean taking a turret shot.
Boom, headshot.
You gotta be careful. One bad binding. The Apotheosis is gonna be enough, but unfortunately Kalora's not in range to use the Galio ult. However, we did force... Actually, the Galio had just randomly rotated... Oh, that's a bit of a lag. We've got Kalor pushing in, and H2O and Agor have realized that there may be some people over at Grubs. H2O has to make his way over there.
Look out! Think fast!
They always said I was a monster.
Step right
It looks like we managed to take 2 grubs from red side, but unfortunately we're losing the Cho'Gath and the Echo. Top side here for red team not doing too well, but the Caitlyn managing to get that first turret blood up about 2,500 golds. This Neela not having a fun game, but the rest outside of the bot lane, DH Plume is doing really, really well. We got the Luden's Companion now here, finished for the Lux. Agor does have his Eclipse, and we almost have a Heartsteel here on Azora Simp. Cho'Gath suffering a little bit in terms of the CS department, but we'll have to see how Tazy is able to make a comeback this game. Unfortunately, right now, there's not much he could do. They rotated the Caitlyn into the mid lane, as we do have access to Grubs. Gucci not being able to lane really against this Galio, but Junpei, we're getting collapsed on. Junpei...
I'm great at doing time.
Going to be taking a lot of damage, but the Apotheosis forcing the flash away from the Lux. We gotta be careful. The Hero's Entrance gets invested by Gucci onto Sergeant Strafe, and we'll have to see if that's enough. Right now, it's a 4v3 in the bot lane, but a lot of ults are on cooldown. Lux has no summoners though, so she may be one of the victims. Nice trade by Igor onto Zoro Simp, but we might be giving up the second dragon pressure unless H2O has something to say about it. We do have Smite.
Killing spree.
Look out!
Unfortunately, it looks like we smited too early here for the side of H2O. He's gonna go down, not giving a shutdown, but Kalore is gonna find a sneaky kill. Kalore trying to find an assassination attempt. Unfortunately, Galio's gonna live by the skin of his teeth. Flash invested by both Caitlyn and Gucci to make sure both Tazy and Kalore die. Unfortunately, what started off to be a pretty good game for the side of DH Plume turns out to be a pretty big disaster. This bot lane is huge, and if this Caitlyn is not dealt with, Things are gonna go from bad to worse. We've got the hard. Well, everyone has one item besides Neil. Well, besides the bot lane of Plume, but Caitlyn is on 2 items, working on her 3rd. There's still about a 2-level lead in the bot lane. Junpei has to be careful. This Caitlyn does do a lot of damage. Tazy investing the Apotheosis. H2O. Ooh. Yeah, that's a lot of damage from this bot lane. Gotta be a little bit careful. Looks like Kalora is closing the CS gap. Agor still has a minute CS gap. It looks like we started Herald. Junpei not gonna get caught, but the bot lane gets caught by the binding. Agor understands what he has to do, gets the shutdown on the Lux. The hero's entrance now arrives. We've got H2O fighting Strafe. Okay, at least we managed to kill Strafe. Tazy gets some money now, so that could be good. And we take the Rift Herald.
Feel the praise.
So that's gonna be good. But unfortunately, we trade H2O, and we're gonna lose the mid lane turret. Tazy blast cones into the people, and he's just gonna get nommed. Tazy put on display like a sushi platter. Now Kalora trying to find a sneaky play angle. Okay, Cerulean going to chase Agor away from the wave, but Agor's going to be able to take this turret. We are nearing a 2nd item for Agor. Galio going to start running Kalori down. Kalori taking about half his HP from a combo. Cerulean getting solo turret gold. I don't know about that, but hey, this Lux has been pivotal to the success of Red Team right now. We've got the first items finished for the bot side. Echo forced the Chrono Shift right away, taking so much damage. Being able to dash away from the Abduct. Echo needs to make sure he doesn't get caught too hard because he is really squishy. While Kalori just has a rocket belt, and Silas still does a lot of damage to people that don't build HP. Ooh, Kalori on the worst side of a trade, going to interrupt the Justice Punch.
Both wings.
Unsure if there were any teammates nearby, Kalori has to be careful. Cerulean gonna be found. That's a nice play from H2O. But unfortunately, Junpei is not going to be there to assist him. Agor, on the bad receiving end of a trade, just gets stacked on. We'll have to see if we're able to get some stuff done. The lead is still about 1,500 gold in the lead top lane, but unfortunately, Cho'Gath just has so much health that, yeah, it just doesn't matter.
I will gut you all.
Okay, looks like Zoro-san forced to retreat, even though he had some teammates coming. The Apotheosis invested, the Caitlyn ults, the Caitlyn flashes away, but the heroes, the Justice Punch is going to be enough to dissuade Tazy, and Caitlyn gets yet another kill on poor Mr. Tazy. We've got nearly a 4,000 gold lead in the bot lane alone, and Cho'Gath's just going to keep scaling. Sergeant Strafe making his way up to the top lane. But Cho'Gath just gonna be able to safely clear. Galio going to look to stop
Excellent shot.
the wave. Gucci gonna be contesting Kalori. Kalori trying, but for now, this Silas doesn't really do much damage. Is Caitlyn about to finish, or well, almost gonna be done her third item in a second. About 1,800 gold, so we're getting a last whisper, so there's gonna be a lot of damage here. I wonder what Igor's gonna be building. I think is it a Black Cleaver? I think it's a Black Cleaver. Gucci putting in a lot of work with this pressure though. While he is a little bit down, he's able to just contest. He's able to just contest Kalori at every stand, and because Caitlyn is untouched in these team fights, well, I don't say untouched. She has had the flash and stuff, but as Caitlyn is currently dominating poor Tazy. Lux ult going to do about 20% of Tazy's HP, and while the XP is starting to recover because Tazy is farming, Agor's got to be careful. If he gets caught, he might be a fed Renekton, but that's still a really fed Caitlyn. So far, we are contesting for early Baron Vision, but the next dragon's going to be up in 3 minutes. A flash Justice Punch taunt was enough to take down Tazy. H2O takes about 40% of his HP from a single ace in the hole. And it looks like the blue team's just going to destroy another turret. The H Plume has to be careful. A nice back row access. Oh, but Cerulean going to die. However, Cho'Gath just going to eat Renekton for breakfast.
Spread my words.
And this Cho'Gath is starting to get big. He just has too much HP for them to get through. And while they are killing the Lux, they did not kill the Caitlyn. And that's going to be it, ladies and gentlemen. Red team victory against DH Plume. Unfortunately, the draft not working out as intended. Some good early game plays by the top side, but Tazy and Jonpei getting turbo shit on during the entirety of the game. We'll see you guys in the next set of live glazing.